Alright, hey everybody, what's up? This is GeoWill from FM Productions Squared, and I'm back to do some more streaming. So, I didn't put it in the title for the stream, but I wanted to talk quickly about the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer that dropped last night. I have to say the thing that stood out the most to me was the music. That friggin' Shinra theme, holy crap. Sounded epic as hell. And we did get some more stuff in terms of like some of the dialogue that happens towards the earlier parts of the game during the bombing mission between various characters and whatnot. It was more of a Cloud-centric trailer, kind of fleshing out his character for the first part. Wasn't too much that was new in it. About 35% of the trailer was new. The rest was just stuff we've already seen at previous events. So, hopefully the Jump Festa trailer, though, that we'll get on, I think it's the 21st of December is when that's happening. I think that's probably 21st Japan time, so it's probably going to be the 20th in the States and most everywhere else. Hopefully that will be a lot more substantial, and we'll have some new character reveals and things like that. Anyway, so that's enough of that. I'm not going to go through it frame by frame, just because most of it we've already seen before. I'll probably do a breakdown of the Jump Festa trailer when it comes out, though. If it has a bunch of new stuff. Anyway, so let me get rid of the template. We're going to be talking about, should I get rid of it? Oh, it's locked. Okay, I want to unlock it. How do I unlock it, you damn thing? Why are you not unlocking? Do I have to... What the hell are you doing? What's going on? Oh, there it goes. Oh, right, the icons are not lined up properly with the actual UI elements. True. Alright, anyway, so, update time for the PC build. It's probably going to be a 2020 build now. The further along it's getting towards next week, the more certain I am it's going to be a 2020 build. We probably won't see the money from the investor till probably the end of the year, and thus I won't be able to get the parts until probably the first or second week of January. So, not a big deal. I was hoping to build it a bit earlier, but the system's doing okay for now. So I wanted to kind of update you on the parts. I've been fiddling around with the parts list a bit. Had to make some changes because some stuff was too... either was no longer available for sale through Prime, or I decided to make some changes to what I was buying. So we'll go over those real quick. Oh, also, I'm gonna drop that tomorrow. We'll be doing a very long stream, since it's gonna be the last stream for the year, probably. It's gonna be maybe not an all-day stream, but it's gonna be like a 10 to 12-hour stream tomorrow. I plan to stream starting at noon, going to midnight. We'll do a couple of games. Most of that's going to be Monster Hunter. I want to get in there and really just farm the hell out of some stuff. But there'll be some other games too. We'll probably check out, jump back into the Surge. We mean to get back into that thing. We'll probably check out, probably do some more Jedi Fallen Order. As well as some other things. Maybe we'll jump back into the Master Chief Collection and continue Reach. But we'll see what happens to that. Minimize. Okay. Let's go and get rid of this. Don't need it. So, what I've done on this is I've created like a sub-list almost of possible part changes. This is probably going to happen, so it's not really possible anymore, but... So, I was reading up on NVMe M.2 storage because it's not something I was too familiar with. So I spent about an hour last night reading through a bunch of stuff on it, and I decided to throw in a drive. So, the thing that pulled me away from doing an NVMe drive, M.2 drive in the past was because SSD has this thing called write endurance, and it's just a fancy term to describe the amount of data you can write to an SSD before the SSD basically becomes read-only. In the least extreme cases. In the most extreme cases, it becomes a brick, really. It's a problem with SSDs, and it just has to do with the way that the data is written to the the RAM chips on the actual board. Early M.2s didn't have a lot of write endurance, so they didn't last so long. They weren't rated to last very long. And the storage amount to price was really bad. More recently, though, we've gotten a bit better in that regard, gigabyte $2 amounts, and also as far as the write tolerance goes, write endurance goes, it's gotten a lot better. And there's also some food for thought. Even regular SSD drives have this problem. So this system I have now has a Samsung Evo 850 1TB SSD drive in it. It has a write tolerance of, and I got it in 2015. So about May 2015 is when I first when I built this computer. So from then to now, it's been about a little bit over 5 years. No, a little bit over 4 years now. Actually, no, it's almost been 5. So almost 5 years, we'll say. And during that time, I've written about. Do I still have it open or did I close it? I think I closed it. Well, I downloaded this program called Crystal something. Is there a Crystal Disk? It's a utility you can use to see how much data you've written to an SSD drive. I recommend you download it if you have an SSD, because this is something you have to keep track of. Especially if you're using it as like a scratch disk for media production, or just as a general hard drive. If you're using it just to store stuff on, then this isn't going to be a problem. If you're using it like as a gaming drive or something like that, as your operating system drive, this is important to track. So we'll go over to my C drive here. As you can see, I've written what's tantamount to, we'll call it 99 terabytes to this drive. The write tolerance on this write endurance on this drive is what they rate it for is 150 terabytes. It's notated as TBW, so terabytes are written. So over that almost 5 years, I've written this much data to it, and theoretically, if I were to write the other 60 gigabytes or terabytes to this drive that's left, it would either no longer allow me to write to it, it would become read-only, or in the worst case, it would actually break itself. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't think a lot of people really know about this, and it's not really something you need to be too mindful of. It's one of these damned if you do, damned if you don't things. It's something you need to be aware of, but it's something you don't really need to be aware of. But if you're using a SATA drive as like a high write, high read volume kind of drive, you really need to be aware of exactly how much data you've written to it, and be prepared for having to pull stuff off it to maintain it, or to back it up. So that was the reason I kind of was shying away from M.2s. These days, you get a lot more. Like, for example, most 1 terabyte M.2s these days have a write tolerance or write endurance of like a petabyte or more. And more recent SSD drives have undergone testing and have exceeded the manufacturer listed maximum TBW by a lot. And some haven't. It's kind of similar to the Silicon Lottery for binning for CPUs. It's kind of the same thing with SSDs. Some SSDs have better components in them, or better chips in them, even among the exact same types of SSD drives. So they're kind of playing a bit of a lottery. So it's always good to know what the manufacturer rates it for and track it if you're worried about that. The other thing I learned about M.2s is that you have various types of not standards, but I guess layering on the actual chips themselves. It's the best way to put it. So you have like what's called SLC, MLC, TLC, and QLC. And it's basically, single layer. I forget what the C is. Then there's multi-layer, whatever, triple layer, and then quad layer. try your damnedest to find something that's at least TLC, if not MLC. Avoid QLC like the plague. Theoretically, QLC should provide more potential bandwidth for writing and reading from an M.2 drive. In practice, though, the way that they're actually being built, it's the other way around. It reduces performance because it has to use basically use the SLC layer as a cache for reading and writing, and when you fill up that cache, the output to and from the drive drops like a rock down to basically less than a HHD or HDD output throughput rather on data on moving data around. What they're supposed to be is like, I think it's like 3,500 times faster than an SSD plugged into an SSD SATA port, because it's hooking right into the motherboard, right into the PCI lanes, goes right into the processor, so it's a very deep level connection to the CPU, and doesn't have to go through all the abstraction of like a SATA driver and through all that kind of crap. So it's a lot faster of a drive. But if you have a QLC M.2 drive, you're going to run into problems if you fill up the cache moving data around. Linus has a really good video on this if you want to go search that up, explaining that whole process. So I decided to go with this Sabrent 1TB Rocket NVMe drive. I thought about doing their PCIe 4 drive, but it's a lot more expensive, and there's not probably really going to be that much of a gain on it for what I'll be using it for. I'm just going to store some of the games that I'm using most for streaming on it, and then maybe store some things on it as well in terms of certain games I'm playing a lot more, or maybe I'll put some use it as maybe a backup drive for some of our projects, YouTube projects. But in general, what I'll be doing is using SSD drives, SATA drives, for the majority of stuff. Other thing with M.2 is there's two standards. There's a that's M and I want to say E, but maybe not E. One of them is a kind of like a SATA connector or SATA architecture. One of them is a PCIe architecture. The SATA architecture is a lot slower, and not every board has support for it anymore. In fact, some of the ports, some boards have ports for two, some don't. Some have boards that have ports that support both, and some only have some that support one type. So it's important to know what your board supports and what you're buying in that regard. But yeah, so I'll be getting that for just to have a little more speed on things, and then using SSDs for everything else. I'll be getting a 2TB drive for games and other stuff, and then a 250GB drive for the operating system and other software that has to be installed on the system drive. Otherwise, I'll have my other hard drives to work with, and I can upgrade if I need to a larger SSD drive for more storage if I need to. Figure out a way to mount it into the case somewhere. Other than that, though, pretty much everything's still sticking to everything else being the same. I think so. Yeah, everything does look the same. I think I already mentioned this in one previous video. We're going to be doing 3600 megahertz RAM because Ryzen likes fast RAM. Yeah, I think that's everything. It's going to add a little bit to the price, but not that much. Less than I thought, because I'm kind of scaling back a little bit. Before I was going to do possibly two 2TB drives. Then I went to two 1TB drives. Then down to one 2TB, a 1TB M.2, and then a 250 SSD. And there's also another M.2 slot on the board if I wanted to get another one, though I'd have to get a heatsink with that one because there's no heatsink for the other one, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, so probably the first or second week of January is when I'll be putting this new one together. Hopefully sooner, but I think that's probably when it'll be. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's see. Again, this is Crystal Disk Info, free software from you can get online. Again, if you're using an SSD of any kind, whether if it goes into a SATA port or if it's in an M.2 slot, highly recommend you get this, because if you're getting close to the manufacturer's end of life for the drive, you'd be well advised to start backing up data you want to keep off that, keep from that drive, and prepare for it to maybe possibly brick itself. Alright, controller. So what we'll be doing tonight is more of the same as what we were doing before on Saturday. No, on Tuesday. This is Friday. Holy crap. This week has been kind of crazy. Why do you have no light? Well, we'll see if it's working or not. Let me get this thing back up here. Template go. Drop this down. And we'll turn this on. So theoretically, M.2s can have at least 3,700 megabits a second of, or is it, I think it's megabits. I don't think it's gigabits, that'd be too much. Because even on the 6 point whatever gig standard of SATA, SSDs and SATA drives don't get anywhere near that. The max they'll get on throughput on a SSD SATA drive is around, if you're lucky, around 500 to 750 megabits a second. On SATA drives, it's more like at max 300 megabits a second if you're lucky. SSDs are 3.7 gigabits a second minimum. And they go up even higher for the PCIe 4 generation stuff. Those just came out though, and they're pretty expensive, so I wouldn't recommend it. Everything looks good. Alright. Whoops. Great. I'll probably open up the sessions once Iceborne comes out. Then just let people, people watching the stream or just in general jump in. But for now, they will be locked down. And it's just kind of insane, though. Every time we see anything from FF7 Remake, it just looks better and better. One of my favorite parts of the trailers where Barrett's going in on Cloud. It's right around the time when Cloud responds to him with, "You need to seek help. You should get help," because he's saying they can hear the planet and it's crying, and Cloud basically responds with, "You need to get some help," and Barrett just goes off on him. I think the voice actor for Barrett is getting it right. I think all the voice actors are getting it right. Not that I have anything against the OG cast. I just think that the new cast is doing as good, if not better, of a job than the OG cast has done in the past and probably would do on this. Hey, we got, what is it, 11? We have 11 herbs. 11 herbs and spices. We are KFC now. Or KFM, I guess. Kentucky Fried Monsters. Ship's not here. Alright. crap baskets, I say. This damn thing. Where the hell is the... There it is, okay. That's where it didn't even show up the error this time, just crashed down after it tanked my system. This is why I want to get the new system built. This thing is starting to fall apart. I mean, I could buy just a new graphics card and maybe it would be good, but I really want to upgrade the CPU. This Intel chip is good, served me well, but AMD is the newer chips. Both Intel and AMD are way stronger than this one. The AMD chips are price performance way better, and will be more useful for what I do. If you're just doing straight gaming, it's really a wash. You can do either. But if you're doing stuff like video rendering and building stuff in UE4 or rendering out stuff in After Effects, you want the increased core count. And for price to performance, AMD is king right now. I really have no clue how Intel's going to plan to survive the next couple of months, seeing as they don't really have any new products that they're going to be making. All they have is refreshes of refreshes of refreshes of rebrandings. Everything they have coming out is something that's just kind of an Intel sort of step up from what they did before. In the case of the 10980, whatever the hell the name is, it's basically just a 99K, 9900K rebranded. Maybe with some adjustments that make it actually worse, because they put in fixes for exploits that have caused the chips to perform worse than the previous generation. But it's kind of like, that's like the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do. If your fixes to security problems cause your processors to run more slowly, you got some sort of huge issue there. Some sort of very, very bad issue. Now, I think Intel, they're not done yet, but if they keep on the way they're keeping on, if they keep going on the way they are now, they will be done in about 1 to 2 years. That's my take on it. They'll basically be what AMD was back in after their heyday in the 90s. And AMD will become the new Intel. Well, hopefully not the new Intel. They won't laze into the sleazy and despicable tactics Intel's used over the years and screw people over by overpricing their processors. But I don't have any vouchers. That's fine, I guess. We don't need to. We also need to... We'll hunt one more high rank, then we need to do some low rank hunts as well. Get some more stuff for low rank Legaina. But yeah, I just don't see. Intel's basically screwed themselves over. They didn't take AMD seriously when they came out with the Ryzen, and now they're getting it up the arse pretty hard. Pretty much the entire enthusiast market since like November, it's been like literally 75 to 90% AMD sales of processors. Intel's not had much processor movement at all. The only thing saving Intel, I think, right now is friggin' pre-builts, and pre-builts are starting to go to AMD as well. I think once the AMD pre-built market gets a lot higher, and Dell and HP get with the frickin' program, Intel's going to be like hanging on to their server segment like a lifeboat, and AMD is already starting to cannibalize that. So they are well and truly fracked, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a bunch of high-level resignings and firings as they try and pick up the pieces. The other thing that's really hampering them is the fact that they can't get processors built fast enough because their foundries are crap, basically. They can't make them fast enough to sell them, and even when they make them, Okay, so it's not they can't make them fast enough to sell them, it's that they can't make them fast enough, period.
All right.
I don't know why I'm talking to you for. I need to come over here. Alright. I used to be the biggest Intel fanboy, and, okay, maybe not the biggest Intel fanboy, but I used to be like, you know, Intel, let's go, everything Intel. I mean, I kind of had a suspicion that they were price gouging. I mean, just because you were getting maybe a 10% increase over the last generation, and on the top end CPUs, and they're like $1,000 every new generation of processor. But I didn't think they were like doubling the price, which is what they were doing. So yeah, I'm now firmly in the down with Intel part of the PC community. What do we have? What do we need? We'll keep those, keep that, keep that. We don't really need any of that. I haven't used any of that yet. Like, gonna turn out to be easier than I thought to kill on high rank. We get rid of this. I'm gonna do this. And the herb will stick over there. Yeah, let's go and get rid of these. We don't need this. Okay. I think we's are ready. I will say one more thing. Stream looks like it's chugging along at a pretty bad rate. I have no clue what's going on with the stream lately. It's not from my connection, it's from my computer. Something in my computer is causing the stream to really lag the hell out. I think it's the video cards, to be honest. God, this is insane. They're like dropping me off in places that I've not seen this happen before so often. Where they just don't take you to the camp. It's very strange. I think it's the video cards. I think for some reason they are just getting to the point to where they aren't working correctly anymore. It's not surprising, to be honest. But it is disappointing. Alright, let's get up this thing. Yes, that's entirely what you were supposed to do. Okay. So how much more crawling around do I have to do? Okay, here we are. Back out. Hey, it's Itsuyaku. Bunch of Shamuses. Not sure if it's still in stock, but Amazon had some of the 3900Xs. So if you're interested in that processor, go check it out and see if they still have them. I was able to pick one up when they had some stock, but they sell it pretty fast, which is kind of annoying. It's better than paying double markup for them from some cheap buy botter that then marks everything up. Make some money off their not really ill-gotten, but just slightly sleazily gotten stuff. Yes, Lagina, I know. We're here to kill you and scream in our face. At the end of the day, you just gotta accept your lot in life. A little bit laggy at the moment. Alright, so we got, I thought he was going to do something else. Turned out that's not what he did. Trying to get the red. There we go. I mean, it's not really necessary, it's just really nice to have this. Oops. Because it allows you to do so much more damage. Okay, actually, that was a happy mistake there. Bob Ross moment. I would have gotten frozen, the hell frozen enemy if I had gone in there. Hell. I thought you were a bit closer than that. Okay. Oh, it's down. Oh, hell. Turn around, moron. And frozen. Very good. I need some more null berries. We are kind of low. And by low, I mean almost out. Oh, cheat. Hate it when they counter in the air like that. Bloody alpha counters. Kind of, cheated my way through that one. Oh, yay. I am frozen and I am stunned. Oh, I managed to get on him. Nice. Nice. What the heck? It fell asleep? Oh, maybe it was one of the... Are the Grimalkins out? No, just kind of fell asleep. Oh, they are out, but I don't know if they can... I don't know what made it go to sleep. That's kind of weird. I don't have any sleep weapons, so... I grab that. I think I'm on the wrong side of the thing for the Nullberry. Let's grab this Kieran here. I know there's one over here, or maybe there's not. I know there are two somewhere. Oh, there's another one somewhere besides the one down there. At least I think so. I think we've already collected that. I don't think it's regen yet. It would be nice if it has. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. Grab that. Now we'll be fine with 3. Famous last words. I wonder if I should use my Vitality Mantle or not. Don't really need to. At least not yet. Oh, come on. Oh, it's raging, okay. The best time to get on top of this thing is when it's raging. Oh, the sarcastic as hell. It's gonna do it. So the Zutsuyaku's here. Let's wait for it to flash him. Not sure what the other colors do yet. Red enables this like crazy thing. I think orange might improve stamina or something, regeneration, or decrease stamina usage. Not sure what white does. I'll have to look at it. The other ones are really subtle, whatever they do. Oh hell, what's that? Basil, guys. Of course, Basil, guys, is here. Oh hell, and it is after me. Probably a bad idea. Okay, that didn't hit me good. Or maybe it did hit me. Oh, damn it. Come on. I'm trying to sharpen my weapon, you overgrown... whatever the hell you are. Lagana's over this way. Let me go grab that, whatever that was. I think it's Kieran. Oh, it's old footprints. I don't know, it could have been anything, I guess. Alright, now I should be able to sharpen in peace. Okay, there we go. Oh, what the hell? It's following me. Okay, now it's not. I'm kind of like, I'm gonna get you. As soon as you get up here, I'm gonna eat you. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, hell, it went down. Oh, it'll come back up eventually. dodged. Good. I was right in the middle of it there for a second. Material we knocked off him. Mechanical plus. Barely dodged at that time. Oh, we're in red mode. Cool. It's gonna fly off though. Or never mind, it's raging. Okay. That's always fun in close quarters. I guess it was. Is it raging? Yeah, it is raging. You can see the stuff on the bottom. There's a red outcrop here. Let me mine that real quick. Oh hell, Basilgeist is here. Don't roll off. Okay, good. Oh, and then it all ran out right at the very last second. Okay, let's get red back at least. Try to. I ran right over that. Oh, nice. Knocked it down. Another material knocked off there. Wyvern tier, okay. I think it's going up to the nest. Yeah. Probably should repair before we get up there. Sharpen, whatever. Wait, where's that thing at? This, I was looking for that wiggly lychee thing. Is that back down here? Okay, not that far down. Oh, come on. Yeah, there it is, there. Stamina's a bit low. Or lower than it was when we started. Okay, so... I just used one of the piercing pods. Whoops. That wasn't supposed to happen. That was. I think we'll use the mantle pretty soon here. Grab that herb. And let's get at this thing. Oh, I got that right already. Nice. Ah, come on. That's such a cheap, it can't fly, can it? It's doing all this weird crap now, since it can't fly, I don't think. It can, like, hover, but it can't fly anymore. It's doing all this really weird stuff I've never seen do before. Or something. God, I cannot get a hit on this thing. It's too busy alpha countering me. Did Basil guys just literally show up here? It did. Oh hell. Not only did it show up here, it like dive bombed here. What's really kind of annoying about this guy is he can use his bombs to kind of knock you out of your attacks. Okay, I think we knocked him around enough. Should get out of the way of this. I'm down to normal again. Since there's a material over here. Lagana probably, yeah. Oh, damn. Smashed in the face. Oh, on top of him again. Oh, yeah. He knocked me off. Oh, hell, I have been frozen, that's why. Oh, got it. Cool. Got it in midair, too. Right as I was about to do a rage thing. Let me get this hair first. Where is it? Over here. Never mind, I guess with the Lagana first. So, hide plus. Another hide plus. And a third hide plus. Awesome. We need claws. Oh man, I'm not sure what that was, but it was something Elder Dragon related. Don't know if it was hair or if it was something maybe that track that Basil guy slipped behind. Yes, we got a gem. Nice. So we got one scale, got Lagana wing. Nice. We need more of those too. We did get another claw. Actually, I have 2 wings. A couple more pelts. We got a keen bone, some carbonite ore, advanced armor sphere. We got another heart. We got a hard bone. 2 spirit core ores and frost sack, freezer sack. We need 1 more of those. So what are you? Some sort of level 1 gem? Dragon resistance. Okay. Nothing earth shattering, but we'll take it. We'll take it. 14 different weapon types. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's go to
We're on the hunt.
this, and we're going to do a few low rank Lagana quests. Let's see, investigations. Let's do some investigations of them. That way we can get some other stuff in there too. Do I have any Lagana though that are low rank? So I put in some high rank, but I do low rank. No, I did not. Awesome. Alright then. Okay, wait a second. I need to... Oh, you have to be at Stary to get the login bonuses. Let's see. Alright then, we'll just do the quest. Maybe 2 more times than I was going to. So we get everything. No, not that. Optional rank 5. And a humid headache. Okay, no. Something, let's see, northwest or northeast camp. So we want. Numero 12. I'm not going to bother eating. I don't think we need to. Maybe we should. It is a Lagana, it's not like a Jagras. Yeah, I guess we will. Don't really need to go this hard on it, but we're going to. The full up here. Alright, so Lagana coming to hunt you. First, let's see if we can get some wigglers or not. I have a bad track record with these guys out here. Where's the capture net? There it is. Okay, I got 2 of them at once. Perfect. Okay, we got the footprints. Claw marks. And it's not. Yeah, it's coming down here, so we'll run into it here pretty soon. Before it drops, I want to run over here and grab the null berries. I don't think I'll need those, but we'll equip them anyway. Alright. And down it comes. Super slowly. That's a cheap hit. And frozen. Very good. Nice, paralyzed it. That was cheap. Countered me and knocked me back into this crap. I know where you're going to, so I'm going to beat you there. Like I didn't beat you there. I arrived at the same time. Ah, Zutsuyaku's around here somewhere. Where is it? So I know where I don't need to be. Oh, it's over there, it's stuck in the ground self. Is this gonna flash me too? No it didn't. Okay, good. I'll take this time to sharpen up. Paralyzed. Nice. Couldn't get it. Push the buttons pushed fast enough. How's it going? Back over here. Knock off any materials. I don't think so. Doesn't appear so anyway. Oh, I went up to the nest already. Jeez. Let me grab this herb. Okay. The stream is very, very rough. I'm not sure what's going on with it, to be honest. Yeah, dropping all kinds of frames. CPU usage. It's not really that high. If I change into the settings, I have to restart the stream. Maybe I need to check. I wonder if I messed with the affinity on this. Let's see. No, it seems to all be fine. If I just set up maybe 6 cores, 6 threads, and made this be high priority. Okay, things seem maybe like they might have calmed down a bit. There's one frame dropped. Or no, 16% skips. God damn it. Okay, we'll just see what happens. Let me just have to throw this up here so I can see it. And, alright. Hey, some of them are actually there. I can harvest them. Finally. These are low rank though, so it's not going to be that good of stuff. Monster fluids. Oh wait, did it come back down here? It did, didn't it? Oh no, never mind, it is up there. Still. Ah. Can I reach it from down here? Of course I can. Stream's lagging like a crazy mofo again. What the hell's wrong with this thing? Bitrate is fine. We're not dropping any frames. It's just not pumping out what it's supposed to be. Let me do all processors again. Okay. Let's do it all processors with the affinity set to high, or the priority set to high, and see what that does. And we got, wow, we just lost 60% of the frames right now. What in the hell is going on?